Okay. Hey guys, how are you? What's happening?
Hi, Krish. Good evening.
Good
Hi,
evening.
sir.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Hello.
Hi, Krish.
Good. Good, man.
In English.
Okay. All right, let's start today's class. We're gonna go a bit more technical today and we're gonna have fun. All right. Ah, all right. All right. So yesterday we learned about data types, and I told you why string data type is so important. Right. Now let's go a little bit deeper into this. Okay. Now, let me start with numbers. So what are the different things that you can do with numbers? Addition. So how do you do addition in Python? 1 plus 1. And when I execute this, it becomes 2. Now, before I move forward, where am I coding? I am coding in a place called Colab, Google Colab. It's like an online coding platform. Now, why am I using Google Colab? There are so many different types of things, right? Now, one of the main reasons of Google Colab is because it is easy to use when you're learning. Sometimes they actually use something similar called Jupyter Notebook in real world as well, which looks exactly like this. Okay. Now, the main advantage of this is every time I write something, it is automatically saved in my drive. And I can share this to anyone I want just by copying the link and sharing it. And you will get access to this like the way I do. Now, how do we execute? You don't need to download anything. The link is given. You just have to go to Google and you type Colab in search bar. You will get Google Colab. Then open Google Colab. All right. And you click on new notebook. And that will create a new notebook. Now, where is this saved? It is saved in your, in your emails drive. All right, Google Drive. It is saved there. Now you can change the name. I'll change it to practice B50. All right. Now I can start writing the code. That's it. Now, how will I write the code? Let's say I want to write print Krish. All right. I can come and click on this play button to execute the code, or I can do Shift plus Enter. All right. When I say plus, what I mean is it's this, do it at the same time. When I do it at the same time, it will execute the code. Now, the first time it executes, it is connecting to Python. It'll take about 3-4 seconds. But after that, it'll be very fast. So like 1 plus 1, boom. You see? There you go. Got it? So we are going to practice on Colab throughout. One, it is easy maintenance. Now, when we come to our projects, all right, when we do our projects, that's when I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, because that is what you will be using in your real world. Now, if I use Visual Studio Code right now, all these buttons will confuse you. And you'll be thinking, where should I click? What should I click? Blah, 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 blah. We'll keep it simple. That's it. All right. Very simple. Write the code, execute it. Write the code, execute it. Okay. Now we learn addition. Now, how do we do subtraction? 10 minus 2, 8. That's it. This is how we do subtraction in Python. How do we do multiplication? 10 star 2, 20. This is how I do multiplication in Python. How do you do division? 10 divided. Divided is forward slash. Forward slash is divide. When I do 10 divided by 2, it becomes 5. All right. So this is division. Yesterday, briefly, I spoke about modulus. Does anyone remember what modulus is?
Yes, reminder.
The remainder.
Correct. So when I divide 23 percentage 10, what is my remainder?
3.
3. So when you divide 23 by 10, your remainder is 3. Okay. fifth standard mathematics. Very, very simple. All right. Then the same thing here. 11 modulus 2. What is my remainder?
1.
1.
Why? Because 5 twos are 10.
11.
5 twos are 10 and the remainder is 1. Got it? So I got 1. And here I am checking. So when I do equals, it is an assignment. We are assigning something. But when I do double equals, what does it do? It is comparing. All right. So when I do 5 double equals 5, what will be my output?
True.
True.
All right, because it is same. Now, when I put 5 double equals 4, I'm saying it will become false. So this is a comparison operator. All right. Now, the same thing here, I am checking. When I do modulus by 2, is my remainder 0? If it is 0, can I assume that it is an even number?
Okay.
Correct? So anytime you divide something by 2 and your remainder is 0, it is even. Correct? But if anytime I divide something by 2 and if it is not even, it is not 0, then it is false. Correct? So this is where we use this in modulus sign is used to find out even or odd numbers. And this is an interview question. All right. It is an interview question where they'll ask you, can you write a code to check if a number is even or odd? Understood? We will do that, all right? But does it make sense why we use modulus? Yes. All right. Next, I've written the code here. All right. Let's say my x value is 100. Okay. If x modulus 2 double equals 0, and I told you indentation, right? Whenever you see colon, next line will be indented. Correct? So that means, does this mean that this is part of the top code, the above code?
Yes.
So this becomes
Yes.
part of my this code, which means this is not complete without this. Okay. So what it is saying is, if I divide something by 2 and my remainder is 0, I am printing it is even. Otherwise, else means otherwise. Otherwise, colon, print it's odd. So this is an if condition. And we will use this everywhere. In fact, in our life also. All right. Like when you give a love letter to a girl, and if she smiles at you, that means print she agreed. Else she rejected. Correct? That's how it is. So pretty much the same thing over here. Now, if I put 101, what will get printed?
Odd.
It's
Odd.
it's odd.
Odd.
Right. If I put 102, it'll print it's even.
Even.
Got it? Now, this is an interview question, guys. They ask this up to 4 years experience. It is very easy, very simple. But like I told you, there are 4 segments in an interview. You get Python, you get SQL, you get PySpark, and you get AWS. AWS includes projects. All right. Sometimes they split that. They'll ask a lot of theoretical questions and they ask about your projects, scenario-based questions. There are 4 to 5 segments in your interview. All right. Now, in your Python interview, Python segment, that is the shortest segment. It'll only be about 5 to 7 minutes, which is why they don't ask many questions in Python. They ask very easy questions. All right. But if you get some idiot, I'm sorry to say that, the reason is very recently they've been outsourcing the interviews. You must have seen an app on Shark Tank, interview. Okay. A lot of companies are using it now. Now, what they're doing is they're outsourcing this interview to a third party, which means the way they like ID this guy is They check his credentials. Do you know Python? Blah, 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 blah. And they'll give him the interview. And they will pay him like 400-500 rupees per interview, per hour. Don't get me wrong, some interviews were very good because I sit in every interview. But some interviews were horrible. There was one interview where this guy was keeping a baby on his lap and he's sitting in banyan, you know, that banyan that men wear. He's sitting in banyan and he's like, oh, lo, 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 lo. Okay, what is list versus tuple? Oh, lo, 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 lo. This was exactly what the interview was. All right. And the worst part was he didn't ask any relevant questions to data engineering. He was asking Django questions. He was asking Flask questions. He's asking how to build APIs. And the candidate said to the interviewer, Sir, I came for data engineering questions. तो क्या हुआ? बोलो भाई. Python पूछ रहा हूं ना, बोलो. But Django is not part of your data engineering, boss. Right? And he rejected him. And it is very unlucky. I mean, we cannot do anything. You tell the HR will say, I'll go get the feedback, and nothing happens. All right. So this is all unlucky instances because nobody is going to check these calls. We raised a complaint, we escalated it, and nothing happened. But there was another interview, a guy from, I think he was from Chennai. Brilliant. The way he structured, the way he organized, the way he gave feedback. One of the best interviews I've seen. In fact, this guy got selected for that in that interview. So you get both sides. All right. I'm giving you all these information that nobody has. All right. So one more thing, guys. When you sit for interviews, do not be scared of the interviewer. He is not God. He is getting paid to do that. All right. He will be rude if you are soft. I'm telling you openly. If you are soft, he will be very rude to you. All right. Do not be scared. Your strength is your knowledge. All right. If you think you're right and he's saying, no, no, it is not right, blah, 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 it's okay. Challenge him. There's nothing wrong. If you're a soft person, he will take you on a ride. Not all the cases, most of the cases. And some of the instances I've been seeing again is, unfortunately, there's a divide between North India and South India. All right. When a North Indian person takes interview of a South Indian person, this is not all the cases. 5 in 10 interviews, this happens. They tend to be rude to this guy and vice versa. Both are taking revenge on each other. And one more incident that you will very commonly come across. They talk to you in their native language. Right? Like if mostly Hindi I'm talking about. There was a guy from Chennai taking interview. The candidate was from Chennai, Tamil guy. The interviewer was from Noida, Hindi, Pakka Hindi guy. The entire interview is doing it in Hindi. Even after the candidate told him, I don't understand Hindi. अरे यार हिंदी कैसे नहीं जानते हो भाई बोलो बोलो. So these kind of incidents happen. And how do I know? I told you I sit in every interview. So far, 11,284 interviews. I'll show you. Me or my team, we sit for the last 3 years. We've collected every interview, every question, and that is how we define the syllabus. We don't take syllabus from textbooks. It does not work. All right? It does not work. We take syllabus from the market, what the questions they're asking, which is why when I teach, it'll be very concise and precise for cracking an interview. Got it? All right. Now we come to floor division. They don't ask this question, but you need to know what floor division is. All right. Floor division is what? Round down. So when I do 13 divided by 2, what is it? 6.5. But when I put extra slash here, that becomes a floor division, which means it is rounding it down. Okay. Always. Double slash means round down. Even if it is 6.999, it'll round it down to 6. You understood? All right. Now we'll come to the power, to the power. Okay. Now, if you want to do it to the power, so 2 to the power 3, what is that?
8,
8. 2 to the power 2,
4.
4, which is nothing but 2 square. All right. So when you write to the power, you put 2 stars here. Got it? Easy peasy. All right. Now we are coming to float. That is also a data type. We got integer and we have float now. Float means what? Decimals. All right. Which means the mathematical operation is exactly the same as integer, except in this case, you will have decimals. Now, these decimal numbers are called float. So they're same operations, okay? Nothing different. All right, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and floor division. Now, the next one is called Boolean. Boolean is true or false. Now, what do you mean by true or false? The true value is 1 and the false value is 0. All right. So, when do we use this? You remember the comparison operator that we did? All right. So, when we do comparison operators or when we do some sort of loops, we use true or false. Okay. But the actual value is 1 and 0. Now, I will show you examples when we go to loops and everything. But for now, you just need to know that true or false is used to determine the status. Now, for example, you have a switch, the light switch. Okay. So when you turn it on, it becomes 1. When you turn it off, it becomes 0. Correct. So if I ask you, while the light switch is true, then do something. When the light switch is 0 or false, you sleep. Got it? So we use Boolean to determine the status of a situation. For example, another example, running race. All right. When race is equal to true, start running. When race is equal to false, stop running. You got it?
Yes.
I'll show you how to use that in the code. Don't worry. For now, just remember it like switch. Turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. It is telling the status of that switch. If the status of the switch is true, then it is on. If the status of the switch is false, that means it is off. All right. So just remember that. Okay. Now we are coming to our most important data type, strings. I told you strings are denoted with single quotation or double quotation. All right. Single quotation and double quotation, they're pretty much the same.
ఈరోజు 94 కి వచ్చినారు people.
Okay. So they both are same, which means both are acceptable. Single and double, both are acceptable. Now you see, this is a float, but because I put quotation, it becomes a string. This is a Boolean. Because I put quotation, it becomes a string. Right, this is
Okay.
an integer. Because I put quotation, it becomes a string. So all these will be considered as a string the minute you put inside a quotation. Got it? Now, the first thing that you need to understand in string is concatenation. What do you mean by concatenation? You're joining two strings together. Now, how do we join two strings together? Very, very simple. You use a plus. So in this case, in integer and float, when you use plus, it means it is adding two numbers. In a string, plus means you're joining two strings. So Krish plus Bhargav will become Krish Bhargav. Now, if I want to put space in between, what can I do? Can someone guess?
Space with
Underscore.
Correct. So I am doing Krish space again in a string plus Bhargav. It will become Krish space Bhargav. There you go. See, I have a space in between. Now, let me ask you a question. Can I do 1 plus Krish? Will this work?
No.
Why?
No.
It is not a string. One is not a string.
A string.
Correct.
One is
No,
integer
it's
and
working.
one
It is
string.
showing one Krish.
No. So because this is not a string and this is a string, you cannot do this operation on them. All right. So it will throw an error saying it is not supported for integer and string. But if I convert this to string, what will happen?
One
Will work.
Krish.
One Krish.
It will become 1 Krish. You understood? Easy peasy. All right. Now, I have a name called Krishna. Krishna. All right. Now, in Krishna, I want to extract information from this. Now, how can I extract information? Let's say I want the first letter from Krishna. So, every letter has a position. Now, when you get a book, all right, when you get a book like this, all right, now there is an index page in that book, which will tell you the numbers of each page, correct? Now, the same way, there is an index in the string, which will tell you the location of each letter.
Yeah.
And this index starts from
Zero.
starts from 0. All right. So when I do x in square brackets, I put 0. I am telling, can you give me the letter that is in the 0th position of x? So when I execute that, what will I get? I will get k.
Okay.
If I want the second letter, what should I put?
One.
I will get r. Now let's say I want from 0 to 5. So now what will I get? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 5, you should not include. Okay, the way I remember is, this is your first wife, this is your second wife. Second wife, you should not include in your life, which means you always exclude your second wife. So which means 0 to 5, what will I get?
KRIS.
K-R-I-S-H. Krish. So I get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth element is N. So from here, I'm excluding it. Okay. Now, if I put 1 to 5, what will I get?
R2.
RISH.
I'll get RISH. All right. Or 2 to 5, I'll get ISH.
ISH.
Got it? Very, very easy. All right. Now, if I want alternate characters, right? So, first of all, if I want to start from the beginning, okay, all right, so I don't need to put 0, I can leave it blank. And if I want to go to the end, then I don't need to put any number here, I'll leave it blank. So when I execute this, I will get the entire name from the beginning to the end. Got it? Now, if I put one more colon here and I put from the beginning to the end, but alternate characters, I put number 2 here. So what will I get? From the beginning to the end, but alternate characters. So what will I get?
AIHA.
Correct. K-I-H-A. Now if I put 3, what will I get?
KS.
K. K-S. K-S-A. Why? Because it is jumping 2 letters in between. Got it? If I put 4, it will jump 3 letters in between. Okay. Now this question was a final question in Flipkart interview. 7 rounds. All right. It was for a backend engineer, Python Django. 7 rounds they took, and it was one of the most difficult interviews. All right. So it was quite difficult. They went into DSA, they went into a lot of advanced topics. And in the last, that guy, he asked this question. Now, imagine you've been asked to climb Mount Everest, and then suddenly he's asking you to climb 3 steps. Now you'll be confused. Why is he asking me to climb 3 steps when overall he was giving me such difficult questions? Suddenly he's asking me to climb only 3 steps. What is the reason behind it? So the candidate got confused. He kept asking the same question. Sir, you need alternate characters inside a string. He said, yes. Like just the alternate characters. He said, yes. His name was Rohit. He still works for Flipkart today. He said, yes. So like, like the way we do indexing, you just get the letters from there. He said, yes. And Rohit he didn't write the code. He sat down and he started thinking. He knows the answer, but he's scared to write the answer. After about 2 minutes, Rohit said, sir, the only way I know is by doing this, sir. I don't know if this is what you're asking. Okay, but this is the easiest way to do it. Now, if you want me to do it using loops, I can do that as well. But is this what you're asking? He said, yes. And he started laughing. He said, Rohit, I just wanted to, I know you are here prepared after 7 interviews to think in a very complex way. But I wanted to make you think in a very simple way. And I thought I'll catch you there. And that's what I did. So I know you got nervous, you got scared, you thought, why is he asking me such simple questions? And then eventually he laughed about it and he said, you were good. When can you join? All right. So they will do this. They will confuse you by asking simple questions. And you just have to do the right thing. Okay. If you're doing something else, he will tell you, don't worry. He will tell you, no, this is not what I'm expecting. Do something else. All right. That's not a problem. But start with doing what you know. All right. Don't waste time. Now, in indexing again, we have something else. We can put -1. All right. -1 means it will give you the last character, or it will go from the opposite direction. So -1 is like 0, but in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of people, you must be thinking here, sir, why are we not using -0? In mathematics, do we have a number called -0?
No.
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 Which means it starts from -1. All right. So which is why when I do -1, I will get A. Now, if I want like my HNA, what will I do? -3 to n. So what will I get? HNA. -3, -1, -2, -3, but till the end. Give me everything till the end. So I will HNA. Understood, guys?
Yes.
Now,
Krish, I have a query.
any questions, ask me, guys.
So, you told that in string we use using single quotes and double quotes.
Huh.
If let's say as a after this course as a data engineer, I am uploading some English novels. There in English, there I can see that there are single quotes and double quotes in my data.
Very, very good question, Siddharth. I know what you're asking.
अरे यार ये सब तो खुद से कर लेना.
Guys, go on mute now, please. I'm going to mute all. All right. So, this is what you're asking, correct?
Yes.
So that then you put the single quote inside, covered by double quote outside.
Krish, it's something like that. This like Samira said, your dog is playing outside. Something like that. Like we used to do active to passive, passive to active. Those sort of strings.
I'm struggling to hear you. Like there's a lot of What is the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, like there are strings like that. Like Samira said, comma, double quotes open. Rian's dog is playing outside.
Can you type it? Guys, can you hear what he's saying?
No.
Oh, it's not audible clearly.
Not audible.
Not
Sorry.
clear actually.
Type it, na? Type it. Okay, while he types it, we'll move forward and we'll come back to this.
Sir,
Now
where
this,
we use strings, sir?
what ma?
Where we use strings?
Everywhere, ma. Everywhere. Your comments is strings. Your likes is strings. When you are I mean, where do we not use strings is the question you should ask. Strings is, like I said yesterday, the most important data type. It is used pretty much everywhere. All right. This is why they are actually hiring loads of data engineers is because of this, because they are trying to capture information from these old documents or old databases, and they're trying to train your AI or LLM models.
Okay,
All right. So this is used everywhere.
fine, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, Krish,
The index is
is it
within
in
the
chat?
strings, right, sir?
Huh?
Index is within the strings, right?
Indexes within the string. Yes. It is indexing is everywhere. It is within the string. It is within the list. When we go to data structures, you'll understand it. Okay. But index is the location of something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Samira said, Rihan. No, you put it here. Now that becomes a string.
Yeah.
This is for Siddharth. All right. Siddharth, that becomes a string. All right. If you leave it outside, then in Python, it is not considered a string. It will throw an error. So you have to put it inside a string here. Then this will be considered as the apostrophe here. Now, if I use single apostrophe, then this will become a string and this will become outside a string, which means it will throw an error.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes.
Krish, can you search for active sentences?
Active
There-
sentence.
Yeah, there is in English, there is a concept of active sentences.
Okay.
Can you search it? Just I want to see the format.
Okay. I got it. What about active sentences?
Like in active sentences, we usually whatever the first person is saying, we put that in double quotes, and there can be a scenario that the sentence being said may have a single quote inside.
See, I mean, yes, I understand. But there is in those scenarios, what do you do is you put doc strings. So now this doc string is also considered as a string because it's a string, doc string. Now, is this okay?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
All right. That will also be considered as a string because we use multiple line commenting. So you can put X is equal to this. So we can use doc strings. All right. Awesome. All right. Now, the process of cutting these elements all right, is called, or chopping them is called slicing. All right, this process is called slicing or indexing. All right, so this process of what we learned now is called slicing or indexing, which means we are chopping a sentence into smaller characters. All right, now let's say I have a sentence like this, some random letters. Now, if I want to find the last character, all right, how will I do it? X of -1, which will give me the last character. Correct? Now, there is another way of doing it as well. All right. Another way of doing it is find the length of that. X, let me execute this first. So I is equal to len of X. And when I print I, what will I get? It'll tell me how many characters are there in my sentence. So total, how many are there? 84. Now, if I have to index based on this, how will I do it? X of 84. Or no, not 84, 83. Why? Because this count will start from 1, 2, 3, 4. But indexing starts from
0.
correct. So now I will get the H again. You see the last character, H. If I put 84, what do you think I'll get?
Empty.
No,
Error.
it'll
Error.
give error.
Index out
Say
of
out of
range.
range. It'll tell it is out of range because it is saying, boss, there's only 83 indexes. Why are you asking me for 84? So it will say it is out of range. Got it? So I've given some examples of indexing. You guys can try that out. All right. Now, coming to methods. So what are methods? Methods are nothing but functions. Now, every object has a method. Now, let's say Harshit, he is an object. He also has methods. Harshit.stand, Harshit.eat, Harshit.sleep, Harshit.run. They're all methods, which is functions. What Harshit does. If I consider Harshit as an object, then this is what Harshit does. Similarly, string. Now, what are the methods in a string object? Let's understand that. Now, first of all, I have X is equal to Krishna, which is my string. Now, let's say I want to make everything capital. So very simple. I'll say X dot upper and open and round brackets. So all functions will end with this. So whenever you see dot something which is ending with round brackets, it means it is a method of that object. It is a function of that object. Like I told you, Harshit's functions are sleep, get up, whatever. So if I'm doing that for Harshit, it'll be Harshit dot sleep. Okay, so this is a method of Harshit if I have created it. Now we don't have that. But I'm saying if I consider him as an object and I create these methods for Harshit, then I can use it like that. Now this guy, this methods is already been created by Panduranga. He's not a person. This is my imaginary character who has created this for us. Okay, so don't go tell in your interview, sir, Panduranga wrote this. That is who I use just as an imaginary character. Okay. Now, Panduranga decided, okay, they might need to make everything uppercase. So let me write a function to make it uppercase so they don't have to write that function. So what did we do? I saved Krishna inside X and I'm saying X dot upper. So this will make Krishna uppercase. Okay. So when I execute this, you see, I will get Krishna all in capitals. Now, can you tell me what do you think will be the function to make it lowercase?
Lower.
Lower, open round brackets.
Open.
Now, when I do this,
Bracket.
you see, I get Krishna back in lowercase. You understood? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You see how easy Python is? Like, it is easy peasy. All right. Now, we also have a type function. Type function means it is going to tell me what type of data that object is. All right. So when I do type of X, it is a string object because this is a string. All right. Now, if I do, when I execute this, what do you think it will tell me?
Integer.
Number.
It is an integer. There is no number, darling. It is integer, float, Boolean, string. Got it? So it will be integer. All right. Now, if I put 1.04, what will it be?
Float.
See,
Float.
the float. If I put true, what will it be?
It will be
Boolean.
Boolean.
So it is a
Boolean.
whole data type. So to find out what type of data, we use the type function. All right. Then I've already done lower. All right. Now we're going to do something called strip. Okay. Now I'll tell you a story behind this. Why is this function one of the most important functions? Okay. So I was working for Deloitte for in UK for one of the biggest projects, banking projects in Deloitte. And I was heading their reporting function. All right. So I was pretty much running their reporting function. And this project was a problem project. All right. What had happened was the bank had cheated their employees, not employees, sorry, their customers by adding an insurance on their credit card without their knowledge. So one day, there was an old woman. She was, I think, 85. Her husband died. Okay. And she was living on pension. So what she did was because now husband was taking care of everything, now she has to take care. So she counts every rupee, every penny to make sure that she knows how much money she has to spend. Otherwise, because their kids don't live with the parents, so they live alone. Nobody's there to take care of them. So what happened was one day she came to the branch and she asked, hi, we got this credit card 500, 550 years or 30, 40 years ago. Okay, and we don't use the credit card, but I don't know. I'm going through statements and I'm seeing these charges in my statements. I don't know what these charges are. Can you tell me what they are? So these statements were old statements. So the bank guy checked the statements and he said, oh, sorry, these are insurance charges. And she said, no, I didn't buy any insurance. Why will I buy insurance? And he said, no, you must have signed it. Then she said, no, I didn't sign it. So she went and complained to someone called ombudsman. Even in India, there's an ombudsman department where if any bank is cheating you or whatever, you can complain to them. She went and complained to the ombudsman, and the ombudsman started investigation. Now, when they started investigation, they asked bank only one document. They said, if you think she opted for this insurance, give me the agreement where she signed for it. They can't get it because she got it 40, 50 years ago. Correct. They can't get that agreement. So the ombudsman said, okay, in that case, you have to give her all the insurance money that she has paid for that length of the period plus 8% interest. Guess how much she got? Take a wild guess. She got $1.2 million pounds, approximately 12 crores today. All right. So now, obviously, all the kids came back. Okay. And now they applied the same thing to the husband's account. This was wife's credit card. Now she applied it to the husband's credit card. And in husband's credit card also, she got almost 4 or 5 crores. I don't remember, 4 or 5 crores. All right. Now suddenly she's a millionaire. So every paper presented it. Now what will happen? Every guy in the entire country started putting case. Even I didn't apply for it. They took money from me. Every bank was involved. I was working for I won't tell the name. It's one of the biggest, it is the biggest bank in UK. All right. Now, anyways, so our project was to investigate this and tell if it is upheld. Upheld means we should give the money back to the customer or reject. See, sometimes customer tells the truth, sometimes he lies. So we have to investigate and do it. And I was heading data for that project through Deloitte. Okay. So now why am I telling you the story? Let me tell you. So I was working with the director of Deloitte. Okay. Now she's a partner. Okay, she's a good friend of mine. Now, every day I build the report and I send it to her. And we are a team of 13 or 14 people. We all work together, build this report and send it to her. What she will do is, she will take this report and sends it to the government. And if you lie on this report, you get arrested. You go to jail. No courtesy. It was very strict because bank have been lying so much. Okay. Now there is a problem in Excel. Now they fixed it, but back then. Okay. Now if I say Krishna, all right, and if I say Krishna, now I put a space in the end, but do you see it when they're together?
No, sir.
No, you don't see it. But they are duplicates, correct? But
Correct.
this is with the space and this is without the space. So when we try to remove duplicates, it will not consider this as duplicate because this has a separate character, an additional character. Okay. So that day, I ran an algorithm, what you call a code, VBA code, and it did not recognize these duplicates. So we were supposed to present 3,000 cases and we presented something like 4,500 or 5,000 cases. It did not remove the duplicates because of these spaces in Excel. And we cannot see it. I could not see it. All right. I submitted. She took it. She blindly trusted me. She took it and she gave it to the government. Now the government asked her 2-3 questions. They said, okay, hey, did you hire more people? She said, no. Did you implement any new technology? She said, no. Are you guys working double shifts? She said, no. Then how the hell could you do 1,500 more cases compared to the last 6-7 weeks? What did you do? All right. Are we really checking this or are we not checking this properly? She started sweating from everywhere. I was sitting in an air-conditioned room. There was outside it was about -2 degrees. She comes running to my office because we lied. Now you know what happens if we lie. Both of us are going into prison. All right. Cut. But that was the scenario. She comes running into my office. She says, Krish, how did we get 4,500? I said, I don't know. I just got the data and I shall send it to you. Let me check. I opened the sheet and I checked. And suddenly I started sweating from everywhere. My clothes were wet. All right. I was wet from everywhere you can imagine. Because I recognized that, yes, I've made a mistake. And I told her. She said, I don't care, but you come and tell them. I am not going to tell them. It is your job. I said, fine, it is what it is. So I went and I told in that meeting, I said, boss, there were spaces and we didn't remove the spaces, which is why it did not count. It did not remove the duplicates. So these 1,500 are duplicate cases. So now I'll fix it and I'll make sure it does not happen again. So the client, the government, they started laughing. They said, oh, don't worry. We also have this problem all the time, but make sure next time you don't do this. So it was a big sigh of relief. Now, what does this strip do? Why did I tell all this story? Because this strip, I think Panduranga discovered because of these scenarios. All right. So if you have Krishna as a string, and if you have a space in the end, all right, when you do x dot strip, it removes the space in the end. You see, the space is gone. Got it? If you have a space in the beginning, it will also remove that space in the beginning. But if you have a space in the middle, it will not remove it. Because if someone is leaving a space in middle, there must be a reason why. So it will not remove the spaces in middle, but beginning and end, it will remove. I told you, no, Panduranga is an imaginary character of mine. My friend is in my head, Ramadevi. Okay. I told 5 minutes ago. So he's okay, he's in my head. Okay. You understood what strip does?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, replace. As the name suggests, replace means it replaces something. All right. So if I have x is equal to hello, and I want to replace h with something. Let's say I want to replace h with k. So how will I do it? X dot replace h with k. So now, hello, h becomes kello. Hello becomes kello. Now, if I want to replace it with KW, no problem. It'll replace H with kilo. Got it? So the replace method replaces characters inside your string. But then it needs two things. What do you want to replace? And what do you want to replace it with? Got it?
So Krish,
Yes.
does it
Yes.
only one character or all characters?
You can replace any number of characters. All right, you can replace any number of characters. So I'm replacing HE with KEE. Got it?
Can you replace L, please?
L.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
All right. So you can replace anything inside. Awesome.
What if I want to replace only one L?
What do you want if you want to replace only one L? All right. In that case, we will use a loop. When we find the index of that L, we will replace it. So we will loop it. I'll show you when we get to loops.
Loop. Okay.
Now, wait, let me show you. Okay. Now it is replacing both. Now what I need to do is I need to loop through each one of them. And I need to say, when you find L, replace it and break it. So I will show you when we get to loops.
Sure.
Right. All right. Then we have something called capitalize. All right. What does capitalize mean? The first character in your string becomes capital. Where do we use this? Very simple. You know, when you have tables, all right, you have your first name, last name, and you want for all first names to have first letter as capital. And when you want all last names to have first letter as capital, then you use capitalize. Got it?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, if you want to check if the letter ends with something, if a word ends with something, how would you do it? X is equal to Krishna. If X dot ends with A, all right. So when it does it, is it true or not? Is my word ending with A? If it is ending with A, it will say true. All right. Otherwise, it will say false. So if I put XS here, it will say false. Now, if I want to check if my word is starting with something, how can I do it?
X dot starts
Dot
with.
starts with.
Wait.
Exactly. X dot starts with K. So for example, if I have Z, Z is Kumar. So Z dot starts with K. Yes, it starts with K. So it gives me true. All right. Now, when do we use this? Let's say we have a lot of data and your manager comes and tells you, hey, Krish, can you find me all customers whose name starts with J? All right. Or can you find me all customers whose name ends with A? So this is how you do it. You would break it. You would go through each name, and I'll show you how to do that. You go through each name and you check if it starts with something or if it ends with something. Got it?
Yes.
All right. Now we have a find keyword. Now in this find keyword, what does it do? It is finding something in your string. For example, let's say my string says, my name is Krish. I'm from Bangalore. Bangalore is beautiful. Now, x dot find Bangalore. All right. What does it do? It will go through my string, and the first time it finds Bangalore, it will give me the index of that location. What does that mean? It will give me where that Bangalore is in my code. Okay, so if I do this, it is telling me 27th character is where Bangalore is starting. Now, if I go through this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I found Bangalore in the 27th location. Okay. So this is what find does. Okay. To find where a word is sitting inside my string. Now, the next thing we have is alpha. Okay. I have a string like this. All right. Krishna 1, 2, 3. Now, is it all alphabets inside?
No.
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 So I can use a function like is x dot is alpha, right? And when I say x dot is alpha, if it is true, all right, then if all of the characters are string, then it will say it is true. All right. But if I have even one number, it will say it's false. Okay. Now the same thing for is decimal. It will return true if all characters in the string are decimals. All right. So let's say if I do is decimal true, and if I put something like question mark or something, it'll become false. So now why will I check this? Where will I use this? Okay, very simple. Let's say someone gives you a list of phone numbers, and you go through each phone number and you check if that string or that number is an alpha or a decimal, or you check is a decimal for a phone number. If it is not a decimal, that means there is a character inside that will not be classified as a phone number. Correct? So you can mark that as a wrong phone number. Correct? So for that reason, we can easily check is decimal and again is alpha. So I'm looking for name. Let's say I go to first name and last name. My first name and last name cannot have what do you call numbers or special characters. Correct? Unless I am born in South Africa or I am Elon Musk's son, because he has used special characters. Okay. And in South Africa, they have that language where they use pop sound. For pop, they put dot in their names. All right. So if I'm checking that first name, then I can easily check if that name is alpha. If it is not is alpha, then I will call that as a wrong name. Then I will send that to the department and I'll say fix those names. Correct. So that is how you clean the data, by using these functions. Now, why are we learning Python? All right, in the strings format, we are learning how to use screwdriver. We are learning how to use cutting plier. We are using how to use, knife. All right. Now, using this, we have to build something. Right now, we are understanding, okay, there is alpha, there is a capitalize, there is upper, there is lower. Now, using all these functions can we clean the data or can we do something? All right, that is what we'll figure it out later. But for now, we are learning all the functions that exist in a string. There are a lot more functions, but we are only learning functions that is important, which will be important for your interview. Now, to learn all the functions, you can go to the documentation or you can go to any website. But we don't want to learn everything. We are not here to get PhD in this. We are here to crack the interview. Yes, Siddharth.
Yes.
Krish, a query. This is decimal. Will it only check for your integer, or will it also say true if it is a float?
No. Only decimal here means numbers, for whole numbers. See, decimal, what you learned in school is dot.
Dot.
That is not this is. Decimal is whole numbers, integers.
Yeah, got it, Krish.
All right. Awesome. So, all right, we'll continue split in the next session, guys. I think we did cover quite a bit today. All right. So I will cover split in the next session. All right, that's about it for today. I hope you had fun. In strings. All right. That's about it, guys. Thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend. And I'll see you guys in the next class. All right.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Bye, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Krish.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Krish.
you, Krish. Bye. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Krish, can you send this link to WhatsApp chat?
I'm doing it right now. I'm sending you the link to.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, Krish.
See you guys. See you.